Our next speaker, as mentioned earlier, is running for the State House of Representatives here in the 40th District. We're currently represented by Mike McCready, and Melissa Bossardet has filed to run for this. And I understand from my secret sources, she's also a great cook of kafta. And I'll just mention, I like kafta. Anyway, please, a big round of applause for Melissa Bossardet. Melissa, come on down.
Good evening. Melissa Bossardet, and like Dennis said, I'm running for state representative in District 40, which is Birmingham, Bloomfield Hills, Bloomfield Township, and a small section of West Bloomfield. So a little bit about me and I grew up in Oakland County. I went to Indiana University, got my degree, and I lived in Genesee County, and I was very active in the Republican Party there. I was a precinct delegate. I said I was appointed by the mayor of Fenton to sit on the beautification committee, and I also ran for school board. So it was a great, I learned a lot through that process. I ran against a long-time incumbent that had been there for 17 years, and they'd never campaigned before. So it was pretty exciting to go out, and I went door to door, and I had signs, and the day of the election, all of a sudden, you know, they're out, you know, the incumbents out there in the middle of the street because they got nervous. So I learned a lot through the process. Anyways, so I moved back to Oakland County in 2015, immediately jumped right in, became very active with the party here, and ran as a precinct delegate, won. I'm also sit on a couple of boards. I'm on SEED, which is Special Education Advocacy and Development, and I also am a part of, I'm part of the Leaders of Policy of Oakland County. It's a year-long program. And I'm part of a MEPS, Michigan Excellence in Public Service. So anyway, so that's kind of a little bit about my background. I've been in business for 30 years in sales, veterinary sales and medical sales. And most importantly, my most important job is I'm a mother of 3 children. I have 3 teenagers.
Oh my.
Fun.
So, a little bit about why I'm running. I just want to tell you why I'm running. I never imagined I was going to be running for state representative, but I carry this heart with me wherever I go. My son made this heart for me in 5th grade. We were in the school district in Fenton. My son, who's got an IEP in special education, he was being restrained and secluded by 7 adults. Very traumatic for my son. So I joined forces with Brian Kelly, and we did tours around the state of Michigan. We talked about special education issues, and we just, you know, we had a task force, and through that process, we were able to pass the restraint and seclusion bill. So making it safe for students to go to school. My son was able to go to school and feel safe there. So that, I never imagined I was going to run for state representative. I mean, I'm just like you. I'm just an everyday person. I'm a mom, businesswoman. I'm not a politician, so I'm probably not the most, you know, eloquent speaker, but I'm passionate because I believe in the future of our children, your grandchildren, and that we have to stand up for Michigan. So, what do I stand for? I stand for conservative values, our constitutional rights. I'm pro-life, and I believe all life has a purpose. I believe in the Second Amendment rights, limited government, separation of powers, federalism, and the rights of the people. One of the issues that's dear to me, but not you know, inclusive of all the issues that I've opened my eyes to and realized, was education. We need to keep more money in the classroom, period. We need to balance out education between college-ready kids that are going to go to college and kids for skilled trades. There's such a shortage of skilled trades right now, and there's a stigma associated with children that are in high school that are studying skilled trades. So my son, when we moved back down here, he goes to C-Home, he attends OTEP, he's studying automotive, but there's a stigma because, you know, everybody's going off to college. Well, not all students are the same, and they don't all learn the same. Some are hands-on learners, just like my son. We need to support those. We need to take that stigma away. We need to change education. It's not a one-size-fits-all. So I talked about shortage of skilled trade. I don't know about you, but my children, like I said, they're 3 teenagers going off to college. They're going to graduate from college. I want to make sure that they come back home and get a job here, and then I can spend time with them and my grandchildren, just as I'm sure you want. Did you realize that 50% of all students that graduate from Michigan universities are going off to other states to get jobs? So we need to attract that talent and retain that talent here in Michigan. We need to speak their language. These are millennials. It's about quality of life. It's about, attracting and retaining that talent here. They think a little bit differently than us. Second of all, I'm not going to go on and on. There's so many issues to discuss here tonight, but I stand for the taxpayers. I actually filed my affidavit of identity, or affidavit of candidacy, was the day after they took the income tax vote. Jim Tutter's in the back of the room here. He stood up for taxpayers. 10 years ago this month, Lansing promised us a temporary income tax hike. Here we are today. They can't seem to give that to us. They can't seem to put that back in our pocket. I don't know about you, but I work really hard for my money. Lansing needs to keep their promises. People want real solutions. They want change. They want somebody that's going to stand up for them and come up with real solutions to the real issues. What do you stand for? I'm excited for this race. I'm excited to stand up for my community. I value it. I value the future of our children. Thank you. I always forget that part.
I'm sorry?
I always forget that part.
Would anybody like to ask Melissa a question? Wow, you did such a great job, they have no questions. That's very impressive.
That part.
Hi, I'm Bill Trolls. I have a few comments. I'm a mechanical contractor.
Could you please come up here? Because I can't hear you very well. Sometimes I have a little bit
I'm
of a
Michelle, and I'll come up. I'm not from this district. I'm close. I'm familiar with a number of people here. I run a 72-year-old family business. My daughter's the 3rd generation. It's mechanical contracting.
Yeah.
We rely on skilled trades, period. No discussion. The only skilled trades that are attractive is where there's outrageously, I shouldn't say outrageously, but extremely high return or income available. You work for an auto dealership in certain situations, $100,000 a year as a mechanic. This is not typical of the trades. How do they get trained? I will tell you exclusively, I train every one of my employees, period. Me personally, with my skills and schooling and so we send them to. Yet, we pay, is it close to 80% of our property taxes towards schools? Anybody want to contradict that? 80%. The $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 I spend on property in my community is going towards schools. I'm getting jack squat for them. I'm getting inept leadership at every level. Teachers the whole system is a failed business model, part-time at best. I hear teachers say, "Oh, it's such a hard job, so stressful. You should feel sorry for me." I say, "Well, you ought to try to make payroll sometime, every year, and earn the customer's investment in what you have to offer." Because none of that's happening. We're just sitting in a big bureaucracy. Everybody's telling you how bad it is, and yet retirement's at 25 to 30 years. In a lifespan of 80 to 90, I'm 72, guys. I'm going strong. And hell, I'm sorry. How about you, Dad, Mike? Right. This is coming.
You have a question?
My question is are you going to stand up for the change in education so we have a product? We don't have one.
Absolutely. We need to change perception in public education. Like I said, my son, he goes to OTAC, and they're treated like the stepchild.
That's right.
He takes the bus from C home over to OTAC. The bus is late, so they show up a half an hour late for class. This is his life. This is his livelihood. This is what he's training to do, his profession. So we need to make changes. We need to eliminate that stigma. not all, like I said, not all students learn the same. It's not one size fits all. We gotta stop putting everybody in a small box. Everybody's not the same.
Doug has a question too. That's very good.
No question, just to reply to the gentleman there. Madison District Schools, Madison Heights, does have a program over there in our middle school. And a portion of that school district, or school itself, has been turned into an industrial training center for people that are in need of jobs out there for everyday skills.
That's good.
So,
We need to get the balance back. I remember when I went to high school, we had home ec, we had, auto shop. I mean, there was a balance between, the kids that were going off to, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that not everybody's the same. We need to,
Yeah, I didn't let him play.
I do.
Yep.
what was your
In
question?
7th grade. Me?
I'm sorry.
Okay, what would you say when I say this to you? All you people are concerned about vocational ed and job training and college. We can't even get kids who can read and write. These school districts are using the concept, philosophy called constructivism. That's based on John Dewey. And their philosophy is you don't need to learn it because you could just look it up on the internet.
Right.
And if this man had a guy come to him that could read really well, who could do really good advanced math. You need to know advanced math to be any skilled trade guy.
Simple.
You don't, and now we have, you don't even need to memorize your multiplication tables.
No.
We have to go back to that.
Right.
Learn logic. Logic teaches you a lot about critical thinking. You don't need critical thinking today when you use that term. That's called criticize America.
Yeah.
That's what critical thinking is taught in our public schools today.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to go back to. We need to go back to, please learn to read, write, read hard literature, get up to algebra, all that, those things that they had before, and then we can send someone off and they can do a lot of jobs.
Right.
And they have to
Get
learn
out of
ethics,
space,
work
yeah.
ethics. If you do that and you create that in the school by not being that's okay if you didn't get your
I agree.
homework
No,
done. All those things are the philosophy of our schools of education. And if like Mickenola and we don't get people on boards to change our schools of education, get rid of these liberal philosophies of just not even making people work hard, we're not going to ever get there.
I agree with you.
You
Listen,
can't read, you can't even do change at McDonald's because you're not required to learn your math facts.
Exactly.
We're never going to get to his jobs.
Never. Right.
listen, I have 3 children, and that's a value for me. I like I said, my son's in special education, and they were pushing him through. He couldn't read in 5th grade.
Right.
It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's a huge value for me. Every child can learn. Every child has value. So absolutely, you're correct. We need to learn, make sure that every child can read.
Yes, and that we
Simple
give
math.
him power. That child power.
Everything.
Go ahead.
Here, Ray's got a question.
Thank you for coming today, Melissa. One thing that I'd like to clarify that always makes me crazy is when people say we need to put more money in the classroom. 85% of the budget of the state of Michigan is teacher and administrative
Administration,
salaries,
that's right.
and benefits.
Yep.
So let's not fool ourselves that every time we want to say, oh, let's raise the taxes, it's for the kids. It doesn't go to the kids.
Right.
And maybe it should. Maybe we should start looking at arts and music and PE. Listen to me, I'm showing my age. So I'd like to clarify that. And again, I'm not sure how to fix that. But when we say we have to put more money for the kids in the classroom,
Doesn't go.
it's a misnomer. That's really not the
Well,
key. And they always
And administration.
get to the bleeding hearts like it's for the kids, and it's not for the kids. It's for the administrators
Walking around. Yep.
and benefits. So just as a
Okay, I understand what you're saying, where you're going with that. But currently, I mean, we've got the pension costs, we've got the pension, the healthcare,
it's not
there's,
sustainable, right?
so that's my point is we need to kind of balance things out so where that money is going to where it's intended to go.
Right.
Maybe that's better stated. It's intended to go to those students, and it's not.
Right, good, thank you.
Understanding that.
Big round of applause for Melissa.